strong friendship. 5 years in, and Kiara still contests that she didn't know her first date with Marcus was formally a date. However, there's no denying that her repeated proposals over the years eventually wore Marcus down, and by her sixth request into a strong C, although he was planning to ask eventually. Marcus and Kiara like to approach things unconventionally. However, they are excited to undertake the tradition of marriage, knowing that their ceremony is about honouring, thanking and connecting to that which they have found within each other, discovered at the heart of their multicultural heritage and woven into the bonds of their intercontinental family. While many of you said that Marcus and Kiara are essentially carbon copies and mirrors of Uncle Gino and his wife Franca, with their similar humour, same tastes and inside jokes that you just don't get, you also noted that the differences make them even better together. In Marcus, Kiara has found a man who exudes cool, calm and collectiveness, which is in direct contrast to her bubblied, frenzied, hummingbird, gregarious and gypsified energy. Marcus shows Kiara that going with the flow and taking your time achieves the same outcomes that running at things head-on attains. He is secretly relieved that he won the race to win Kiara's heart, though, because love was becoming a marathon of relentless pursuit that he knew would only end when she fell longingly into his arms. Marcus's gentle and measured ways, especially with words and gestures, make him extremely level-headed, and with one endearing look, he can soothe Kiara's angst. Marcus has gained Kiara's trust, and his positive, non-judgmental encouragement lets Kiara feel safe and wholeheartedly herself, which is an immeasurable gift, especially because it has taken many years for Kiara to unravel and understand the story of who she is and who she came to be. In Kiara, Marcus has found an expanding world, amplified fun and interest he didn't know he had or could excel at. Like Buttercup the Powerpuff Girl, Kiara is spicy, complex, relatable, hilarious, loving and interesting. Her superpower is being an absolute whirlwind of feisty amazingness that Marcus craves to be around. Kiara enlarges Marcus's every experience, and while he has incredible pitch and tone, Kiara brings a colour and vivacity that's inaudible yet intensely felt and greatly missed whenever they're apart. Marcus and Kiara are the living example of Rumi's inference that lovers don't finally meet somewhere. They're in each other all along. And their love story exemplifies that serendipity does indeed stunningly change your life. Family and friends, my name is JC Whitfield and I am an authorised marriage celebrant. It is with great pleasure that I marry Marcus to Kiara and on their behalf welcome you to this magnificent occasion. It is also my honour to grant Marcus and Kiara's cat Floyd the legitimacy that he has been affectionately vying for ever since he was spontaneously adopted 7 years ago on a lunch break. As family and the friends they consider family, you are the beautiful people that have made this day possible. Marcus and Kiara, thank you for your unconditional love and support. They are especially glad that you showed them how to be joyful and grateful for all the wonders that are around them. There are family members and friends who today are unable to be present. Marcus and Kiara feel your absence and miss you dearly. Those here in spirit remind us that life is a gift and to live each day in gratitude. Marcus and Kiara would like to honour their parents today. For Michael and Anita, Marianne and Raja and Tina and Don, you raised them to be excellent communicators and people who esteem good morals. In your footsteps, Marcus and Kiara treat people in the manner they wish to be treated. And having learnt that relationships are a two-way street, they eagerly put effort into maintaining their good friendships. As proud of Marcus and Kiara as you are, they are prouder to be your children. They promise to honour all the gifts, lessons and sacrifices that you have given, and they will pass those values along and on to their children. Don and Tina, Marcus sees in Kiara your huge hearts, intelligence, strong values and determination. In himself he sees your OCD, your paranoia, your self-respect, cooking prowess, humour and kind-heartedness, which has for the most part been useful. Don, like you, Marcus is well composed. He has a brilliant mind and an innate ability to see things from the shoes and intellect of others. His attention to detail and uncanny knack for noticing what others overlook makes him observant and attentive, which is extremely attractive to Kiara and practical, particularly when she loses her bearings, being adrift in the explorative nature of a hike. Tina, like you, Marcus has a penchant for the devil in the details, especially when it comes to dishwashing, which he executes in multiple stages. His process-orientated mind makes him well organised and planned, and coupled with his fondness for gadgets and technology, makes Marcus virtually unstoppable. Don and Tina, you are quick to note that Marcus was a placid, ideal baby who grew into a cute, curious child with envious, wavy hair. However, you opted to make no comment on his nature as an adolescent. You are happy to see that Marcus's introverted nature has been turned inside out with Kiara's sociality, and you're relieved that his foot has remained out of the gob that intriguingly told his grandfather Grant that he didn't have a very big mouth. A nice compliment in Grant's eyes. You wish Marcus and Kiara even more fulfillment and happiness than they have now, and you imagine that what's most likely to brew between them in the future is more of Marcus's great coffee and their highly infectious laughter. Anita, Kiara is forever grateful to have you in her life. Where's Anita? There you are. You have been a wonderful influence and role model, and she feels blessed to have had the experience of your love, your kindness, and your protectiveness. Raja, Kiara is thankful you shared your love, support, life lessons, advice, and experiences with her. She hopes one day you'll disclose your secret curry recipe and the enigmatic way you perpetually focus on the brighter side of life. Marianne, you have given Kiara the gift of an inquisitive and creative mind, as well as her love for poetry, music, art, and literature. This tiny mite of a thing, as your grandmother called Kiara, constantly surprises you, and her exposure to different cultures has cultivated many hidden talents and a plethora of changing interests. However, what's remained constant in Kiara is her passion and empathy for others. She freely bestows the gift of generosity of spirit on those who seek it, and you are proud that Kiara has stayed true to her roots and core values. You are in awe of the confident, intelligent, beautiful, independent, compassionate woman that Kiara has become, her exceptional accomplishments, her values, ambitions, and attitude to life, family, and friends. Marianne, you have additionally demonstrated to Kiara the power of imagination, which has resulted in her assigning a personality to every animal that she meets. And you have exhibited the importance of unconditional love, particularly because you embrace Kiara's brilliant flights of fancy and overwhelming need to always pronounce and spell things correctly. The latter isn't hard for you because you've read practically every book ever written and tackle a cryptic crossword faster than the French can reword a double pronoun. Speaking of pairs, you're pleased that Marcus has a normal series of names because you don't believe that you can trust a man with two first names. You like that he has multiple personalities though, because it makes him a fascinating and multifaceted character that you have relished getting to know. Marianne, your spontaneous Italian impersonations, including the exaggerated hand gestures, increased Kiara's fascination with language, and she feels lucky to have you as her bilingual advocate and a constantly wonderful friend. Marianne, you have shown Kiara how to have a head full of dreams, and Michael, well, Kiara says she could pull out a PowerPoint presentation detailing all the ways that you have taught her how to make those dreams possible. Michael, your assertions of where there is a will, there is a way has made Kiara believe that anything is possible. However, she doubts you'll ever find a way to restore the full head of hair that was once your crowning glory prior to her and Alexandra. Kiara is eternally thankful for your patience, your support, your love, and understanding. You are Kiara's champion, her biggest inspiration, and she is glad that she inherited your drive and determination, along with a good dose of altruism. It has culminated the force in her that's compelled to always do the right thing with others while being stubborn about it. Your optimism and hugs make everything in Kiara's world feel okay, except her superannuation. And you've propagated the credence that good things come from the garden unless they're snails, as you have unequivocally proven. Michael, you hope that the plot Marcus and Kiara tend to most is the one that grows the obvious love they have for one another, because forever is composed of nows, and the affection, smiles and support they have surrounding them today is all they will need to overcome anything life may scatter in the pathway of everlasting bliss. Michael, you additionally have the honour of giving Kiara away today, so would you please stand? Michael, you said that you are proud to welcome the beautiful man that Marcus is into your family and to call him son. And it gives you great pleasure to see that Marcus shares Kiara's kind and friendly disposition and value for close family connections. You trust that with Marcus, Kiara will be encouraged to pursue her dreams, which include having an interesting and stimulating career that does justice to her immense intellect, and a family who enjoy wide open spaces, healthy living, and proximity to extended family. Therefore, I ask, do you, Michael, give Kiara over and into the love and protection of Marcus? And will you continue to offer your support, advice, and the questions that will help Marcus and Kiara receive the rewards of the precious partnership that their marriage will be?
I will.
Thank you. Please be seated. Marcus and Kiara, your family and friends have noticed that you are partners who always show respect and go out of your way to do something to make each other feel totally special and loved. Marcus, Kiara thinks your Thermi experiments are delicious, and she appreciates when you surprise her with a new toothbrush, flowers just because, and blocks of chocolate, including the ones she denies eating that were initially gifted to you. Kiara, your athleticism inspires Marcus, although your violent body rolls over in bed have left him nursing injuries and bruises. You make up for it in the kitchen though, and while you whiz around ingredients and utensils like a Tasmanian tiger, leaving one hell of a mess in your wake, the cakes and the breads that you bake are the best that Marcus has ever eaten. Marcus and Kiara, you have created an exquisite relationship, and your deep knowledge of one another is the gift that will see you continue standing as one in heart, mind and spirit. So let us now honour the union we all rejoice in seeing made official today by asking you to face one another and hold both hands. Marcus and Kiara, I confirm that I am duly authorised by law to solemnise marriages according to law. Before you are joined in marriage in my presence and in the presence of these witnesses, I am to remind you of the solemn and binding nature of the relationship into which you are now about to enter. Marriage, according to the law in Australia, is the union of a man and a woman to the exclusion of all others voluntarily entered into for life. Marcus and Kiara would like to acknowledge that they do not agree with this definition, and they look forward to the day in Australia when all couples can marry regardless of their sexuality. Marcus and Kiara, we have now come to the most important part of your wedding day, for in the declaration of your marriage vows, you marry each other. Therefore, I ask Leah and Alexandra to stand with us and witness your intentions and vows. Marianne and Tina, would you please present the rings?